Good afternoon. Good afternoon, tribe. How you doing? Good to see you all. It's me, Mitch. I'm out here in the bright sunlight, as you can see. Got my coffee, got everything ready for today. Got the cigar ready over here. Got two people in the green room. Three people in the green room ready to come in. All I need to do is switch to this camera. Wow, it's bright out here. You look over my right shoulder there, you see I hung a towel over where the sun was shining directly in. So as the sun moves towards the back, hopefully by the time it gets back that far, it won't be so bright, but it was almost too bright to even see the computer screens. This is not a great setup for a sunny afternoon, and a sunny afternoon it is. I'm telling you what, it is gorgeous out here. I see Mark Sr., Tuka, Greg, looks like he's driving away. And in the green room, I'll get to you guys in a minute. Good to see everybody. Good afternoon. Let me say hi to, think about this, private communities, the chat is nowhere near as busy as it is on those morning coffee live streams. So speaking of coffee, if you got some, have a sip. And I have my new morning coffee with Mitch coffee cup with Kenny on the back that I used this morning. I have this cup here for this afternoon's festivities. Excellent. Good deal. Okay, let's see who we got first in. Retired Rick said, hi, I'm first, baby. First, absolutely, you did it. Followed shortly by Papa Carnivore, sleep at the switch. Hi, Peter. And we have, I see Rick, Charger Mopar showed up in the green room. Good to see you guys. Aunt B saying hi to everybody. And next down is United Carnivore Mike from Tampa. Good to see you. Rick chimed in about 11:22. Good to see you. Tuka chimed in. Tuka asked me, how are you, boss? I'm just as good as I was this morning, my friend. Thanks for asking. And Mark Booz chimed in a little early. Now we get up to like 2:14, and we had DS111s in here. Good to see you. We have Jerry Graham. Jerry, how are you? Good afternoon, she says, or he. I don't know, with an I would imagine it's a she, but again, I can't tell. Richard Williams is here from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Less junk, more health. Good to see you. Greg Smith chimed in from the road. We'll find out in a few minutes where he is. Mike Seeley Sr. from Melbourne, Couch Potato chimed in. And let's see who else was new. Lady June, how you doing, Lady June? And Lizzie, good to see you. Boyd Lamb's with us. Hiya, Boyd. How are you, my friend? Boyd is walking and listening. Cool. CB is here. Hey, CB Sheriff, how are you? Good to see you. Lewis L is here. Hiya, Lewis. Good to see you, too. No Slow, how are you? And Marla Kelly is here. Good afternoon to you. Bama J, always good to see you. Smoothie 420 is here. Happy Saturday afternoon. Retired Rick made it back for the chat. And there's a question from Tanya. Hi, Tanya, how you doing? Mitch, my husband, wants to know if the plant behind you is real. I say not. No, if I shake it, you might see a dust storm fly off of it. It is a 20-something-year-old silk plant. Not plastic, but silk. It's held up pretty good. I do dust it off every once in a while. And I don't have a real plant in my house. All those plants that I have in my house are things I bought right when I got divorced over 20 years ago and moved into an empty house that I had rented. And I needed to fill it up quick. I went to the place where they sold these things, and I had a big excursion at the time big SUV, and I fit every phony looking plant in there that I could find, and I brought them to my house, and I stuck them all over the place, and I still have them to this day, and they still make the place feel a little more like home and a little less like a bachelor pad of a junk collector. Bachelor pad, rather, of a junk collector. So that's the skinny on the plant behind me. And here we have somebody, Winland Crew, good to see you. Wow, this old guy is still alive. I know it marvels me every morning. Every morning when I open my eyes, I say, holy cow, made it. Made it another day. Made it another day. Then I spring out of bed like a jack in the box. I don't care what time it is. And it's usually either 5 or before. So I plan to be around for quite a while longer. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Stickman's Garage is here. How you doing? And Danny in Boston is here. Good to see you. Edward Brenner's with us. Wow, we got pretty good attendance here. That's right. This is not the private community live stream. This is the Saturday afternoon live stream. So we're going to have everybody. I forgot of what I was speaking. Yes, it is Saturday afternoon. It's not just the private community. So we're going to have a big chat. So I'll go until, well, I'm already past the time we started. So it's nothing like the pre-chat in the morning. Maddie at Drones World. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? Hope you're well, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Maddie. Good to see you. Anybody else new? I'm at the bottom of the chat. No, that's it. That's it. I made it through. Hallelujah. My friends, I have nothing. I have no show notes. I have nothing for this afternoon other than to set up a panel and see how all you guys are doing. So I put a link to that in the chat. What I want to do right now is I want to go down here to where it says invite guests, get that link again, put it in the chat again, and if you guys will remind me every 10 minutes or so to paste that link in the chat, that'd be great so we get more people in here. Okay. First one I saw in was Greg. How you doing, Greg? Driving away?
Might be a
doing
little
good,
noisy.
man. How you do? What's that?
Might be a little noisy. I'm driving.
Yeah, your volume is a little low too because you're evidently you got the cell phone a little far away, but that's okay. You drive away, man. Chime in whenever you want to, and if you think it's going to get a little noisy, I don't hear any noise from you driving, but if anybody does, let me know, and I'm sure Greg will be happy to mute the mic when he's just listening. All right, next in. Surprise, big surprise. Tuka.
Howdy, folks.
How you doing, man? Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear okay? Can everybody hear everybody okay? Do I have the volume set okay? Let me know, yeah, because... Yeah, I think we're okay. We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, how you doing?
Let me know if I need to put up the volume, so...
Okay, how are you?
Oh, I'm having coffee as usual, so how did you always say, Mitch?
Drink it if you got it.
Right.
I'm with you, my friend, and we also have Mark Booz. Mark Booz is here. Hiya, Mark.
What's up, guys?
Mark.
How you doing?
What's going on? Good. How are you?
How you doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Same here.
What a gorgeous day this is, isn't it? Holy cow.
It is.
Man, they don't get any prettier than that. I had to take my sweatshirt off. It's warm out here on the sunroom. I even got the ceiling fan on above me just to keep the air moving a little bit.
Yeah, I had to put my sunglasses on.
Yeah, where are you? Where are you, Greg?
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Well, yeah, it's probably warm there too. Maybe warmer than here. It's in the 60s here today, mid 60s. But yeah, gorgeous. But that's
78 degrees here.
Oh yeah, man, you're warmer. You're warmer than we are. You're warmer than we are. And great to have you here, Mark. Good to see you. Let's see who else I got sitting in the green room. I got Rick from Miami. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Charger Mopar.
Hey, good. Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, we can hear you perfectly. You're always broadcast quality there.
Excellent. Appreciate that.
Yeah. You doing okay?
I'm doing good. The weather's amazing. It was nice. It was 58 degrees when I woke up this morning, and I've already gone to the store. I went to Fresco y Mas and I went to Presidente, so got some meat, had my lunch, had some heart attack chicken, and I'll be working outside in a little bit.
Cool. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day. You're a little warmer down in Miami than I am up here. We were close to 50 here, a little upper 40s, lower 50s here in Melbourne. We're supposed to have a high of 65 today. I think we've reached that. So good to see you. We also have, no surprise, with his mic sitting there muted in Furniture Land, USA, looking around, not paying
Peter.
attention. You guessed it. It's Peter.
How's everyone doing?
Oh, man, we're doing great, Peter. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Good to see you guys.
Well, that was...
Sorry, I have an announcement today to make. Sorry, my apologies. I didn't get the blonde wig for today.
No, go.
I couldn't make it today.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, that reminds me, Tuca. Let's see if we can't get some females in here. Let's see if we can't get some women in here. And women, at any rate, all the usual suspects are here. Always good to see you guys. And I'll tell you what, it gives me a little security in doing these things, that I know that I can count on you guys to be here with me. And I do appreciate that. I do. It's like having a Wednesday night poker game or something with the regular gang, you know. And if things get boring, man, we'll just get out the playing cards. I wouldn't cheat because you guys aren't here. Believe me, I wouldn't cheat. I would tell you exactly what the card was that you were dealt.
At the domino table.
Mm. So, got everybody in. I'm going to be looking for other people. If you'd like to come in and join this little free-for-all, go right ahead. We have somebody in the chat named Mick Trusts no one. Very smart, my friend. Very smart. James Bellini came in too. James, how you doing? I've been doing good on carnivore, but I'm going to eat some fruitcake. Will it scare me? Will it kill me? Why would you even want to? That's the question that I have. But you are free to do whatever you want, my friend. Whatever you want. And don't let me try to talk you out of it. Anybody else I missed? No, that's it. That's it. Chat's not going near like it does in the morning. I'm telling you, it goes like crazy in the morning. It goes so fast I can hardly keep it up. Oh, Steve Studley just joined us. Hi, Steve. All right, guys, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, I went to the lab yesterday morning, so I'm waiting for the results on Monday to see that how
you and me, but I haven't gone.
Meds.
I haven't gone yet. I haven't got I have my appointment at the VA on the 9th of January. And I usually go by the end of December sometimes. So I'll probably go in before the end of the year over to the VA, let them draw my blood, and then as soon as I get the results, I'll see them online, and I'll let you know what they are. Hopefully, there'll be nothing in there that worries me. The only thing I'm really interested in seeing is my vitamin D level, because it was low last time, and that was a year ago. So I don't do a lot of blood tests. I don't keep up with that stuff. I don't like to monitor things unless there's a real reason to it. I haven't seen any reason. I feel great. But I started taking a 5,000 international units a day, and I'm interested to see what that did, because I keep hearing from my avid followers that I need to take massive doses of vitamin D, and that 5,000 international units is going to do nothing. But I'm not going to start taking massive doses of vitamin D, not even on some doctors say so, until I see what the 5,000 units did to me. And maybe I'll double up on it if it didn't come up enough, or not at all. We'll see. We'll see.
I think that's the same dosage my wife's on. 5,000. Yeah. And I think hers came back up to normal after a few months of her taking that same regimen.
Well, we'll see. I'll let you know. You know, all we can do is experiment on ourselves. That's our best course of action as opposed to, because you'll get advice for everything. And it
Yeah.
may very well be that I am getting decent amount of vitamin D in my food. There are an awful lot of carnivores that take no supplements, whatever, not electrolytes, and they do fine. So you got to factor in that we're all individuals. Anyway, some of us maybe can absorb more than others. We'll see. We'll see. I need a test. How you doing, Coffee Clutch of Conrad? Wisconsin. Stay warm up there in Wisconsin. I think that's it. I think I'm caught up in the chat. How many people I got in here? 61. Wow. That's not bad for a start off on a Saturday afternoon, especially to see you guys. I mean, you know.
Wank.
Rick, was that you?
Yeah, that's me. Whenever there's a quack, you know it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. We have 4 people of the 6 live in Florida.
I was just
I'll
going
drink
to say.
to-
I
I'll
was
drink
just
to
going to
that.
say that, Peter.
I'll drink
Oh,
to that.
Mitch, there is someone in the green room.
There is someone in the green room, and that someone is Kevin Scholar. Kevin, how are you, my man?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm great, man. Nice beard.
Thank
Nice
you.
beard. Okay. Yeah, you're going to see me looking sideways most of the time because I'm looking at the monitor that's got. I'll show you here because I can show you because I have buttons. I'm looking at this monitor over here, and the camera is right there. So I have to look. This is where I see you guys, right up over here. So
All right.
you'll see me looking sideways most of the time. I'm not looking away, that's for sure. Well, listen, guys, let me take a minute for a crass commercial announcement. Seeing as this is not a private live stream and I have all of you here, let me put a link in the chat to buy me a coffee, and I'm not even going to tell you why. I'm just going to say that's there if you want to say thank you to old Mitch. Had a lot of people this morning, and I don't expect you to buy me a coffee very often, so you don't need to repeat it, but I've got a lot of viewers, and if each one of my viewers bought me one coffee a week, I'd probably be pretty good. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I don't demand that I don't charge it. I was thinking I'm saying to myself, because I make these videos, and they don't get any views anymore. And I can only attribute that to either I'm a failure and have nothing interesting to say. I'm missing something in the uploads. Don't have a button checked right or something, but I know I'm not. I've gone over that 100 times. So I've deduced by my lack of views and how much fewer views just about everybody in our space gets. Now, people like Ken Berry always get a lot of views because they've got millions of subscribers, but I don't. And I look at channels about my size. Some of them without carnivore in the name maybe do a little better. Some of them do a little better. Maybe they're more compelling than I. But nobody's killing it. Nobody's really, really killing it here. So I'm saying to myself, well, I'm not really doing what most people do on YouTube channels anymore.
Maybe change your name to Dr. Old Guy.
Yeah, that would do it. Dr. Old Guy. Yeah, then somebody come after me for putting it out there. I got a license. Well, I could be a doctor from a PhD from some unknown college in Grenada, maybe. I would still be able, like Jill Biden.
Like Dr. Phil.
Yeah, or like Dr. Jill Biden. Dr. Jill Biden. Yeah.
Dr. Mitch.
She's got a PhD from some college somewhere. At any rate, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to change my name, but I think that Hello, anybody home? Somebody going to answer the phone? It's got to be Rick.
Hell no.
Got to be Rick.
That's definitely Rick.
He's the only one with a phone that rings like that, and he's not sitting at his computer right now. Oh, that's great. If it wasn't so funny, I would have muted it. And
This
Peter's
is a
on the
safe
move, I
flight.
see. I see Peter's on the move, and oh, well, anyway, I was saying that, oh, I'm going to have to mute him. I'm sorry, but, oh. Hey, answer your damn phone. Okay. He muted himself. This is professional show business, guys. Always keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
For what you're getting paid, you need to be professionals, all of you. Yes. So it seems like the thrust of my channel has become mostly more like a podcast than a standard type YouTube channel, don't you? Because most of what I'm doing these days is live streams. It's live streams. It's and it's every day like a podcast. So I said, why don't I add the word podcast after the name of my channel? Old Guy Carnivore Podcast. I don't know if that'd help or hurt or wouldn't make any difference whatsoever. So you don't let me know now, but think about that for a second. Think about
it's a good idea for doing A/B testing, right?
Might be, yeah, might be. You're correct, Kevin. But the A/B testing is usually with a thumbnail, not with a channel name. So I don't know. I was thinking about it. I don't think it'd make all that much difference. But I said what I'm doing more closely resembles a podcast than it does, because I say all the same things in answering the questions. In fact, the things I say on my live streams most of the time are more relevant and interesting because you people are asking it. I don't have to sit around and say, okay, what can I make this next video? I got 500 videos, for God's sakes. Everything I say, I've said before, God knows how many times. And it becomes relevant again when somebody asks the questions. That's why lately I've been taking clips from my live streams and turning them into videos, and I got that idea from Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's got a separate channel, JRE Clips is the name of that channel, and he takes 10, 15-minute clips from his various podcasts. Anthony Chafee also does that, although he doesn't call himself a podcast. Most of his time is spent live streaming and answering questions. And then he'll come up with a video, create a thumbnail that makes it looks like a standalone video. When you tune in, you find out there's a question on the screen, and he just cut that out of his live streams and manages to get 5, 10, 15,000 views if it's an interesting subject. And I think that might be what you have to do.
I think Spanky's in the green room.
Spanky. Thank you. Hey, Spanky, how are you, my friend?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good to
What's up,
see
buddy?
you. Good to see you. I need to pay more attention. I'm glad I got you guys out there. Did you put it? You must have put it in the chat that you're in the green room.
Yeah, I just said knock knock.
Knock knock. Good idea. Good idea. In fact, if any of you come in and I don't get to you the instant you come in, just throw it in the chat. I'm likely to see that first. Because
Mitch,
yes,
there was a question for Greg, but I missed it. It was just a little bit up.
I saw QQQ there. Let me see where it was.
I think it was Danny or someone asking, does he always have the same road?
It went by already. It went by already. Here it is. Danny in Boston, was that the question? Greg, do you always have the same route?
No. I run the same route a lot of times, but it's not always the same. Like this route I'm on now is not a regular route, but they paid me way too much money to do it, so I had to do it.
Yeah. I can understand that. And was there another question? I don't see another question. I think that was the only one I saw.
I think that's it.
But thanks for bringing that to my attention. Tammy Pitarch is here. Hi, Tammy. How you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah,
because I usually make it to your live streams, I don't watch the clips from the live streams. Well, the problem is I'm sneaky that way. You'll never know it's a clip from a live stream until you click on it, because it looks like a video. That's what you have to do in order to get people to watch anything. I don't go all the way towards clickbait, but you have to make a thumbnail and a title intriguing enough or you get no views. It's just how you have to play the game in YouTube because the competition for those clicks is so fierce and it doesn't get any better. It just gets worse. We lost somebody. Who did we lose? We lost Kevin. Kevin, where'd you go? Hope we didn't piss you off. All right, we're back to this question. DS111, 70% as a carnivore seems a little generous. Do you agree? I didn't make that up, DS111. I didn't say that 70%. That seems to be the consensus before the scientific community labels an animal as a carnivorous animal as opposed to an omnivorous animal or a herbivorous animal. I would imagine the breakdown would be exactly like this. Anywhere over 70% is a carnivorous animal. Between 30 and 70% is an omnivorous animal. And below 30% is a herbivore. I have not seen that, but I would imagine that that probably is the breakdown. And I talked about that this morning. Basically said that whether we can call ourselves carnivores or not is a construct that we made up defining what we call a carnivore diet. Animals don't understand that. And animals didn't understand that hundreds of years ago when they started coming up with these differentiations in the types of animals. So this 70% deal's been around a long time. The carnivore diet's been around officially since Sean Baker wrote the book about 6 or 7 years ago. And we can name these diets anything we want. We can come up with our own name for carnivore and coffee. You know, we can make that a separate diet. You know what I mean?
FX Trader also had a question for you.
Okay, thanks. There it is. Yes, FX Trader. What ground beef is better? 93.17. You can't have 93.17. It would have to be 83.17, 80.20 or 73.27. 73.27 is probably the closest to the perfect ratio of fat to protein. It's about 50-50 by weight. And 80-20 is what I normally find because that's what I can find in those big 10-pound chubs that I buy. But anything with less than 20% fat in it is going to be too lean. So if you find 85-15, 90-10, you could always add some fat to it. Or at the very least, if you fry up some burger patties, when you put them on your plate, pour the whatever fat rendered out into the pan, pour it back over the top of the burgers. I try to do that anyway. It's like gravy. Makes them a little juicier. New York City guys here, how you doing? And we got a question, another comment from DS111. Right, I heard that first elsewhere. I must be 99%. Yeah, I think most of us are 99 to 100%, with the exception of a cup of coffee or maybe some cheese that might have a little sugar in it. But I think most of the people the viewers of this channel are not keto anymore. I think most of them have decided that carnivore is the way for them to go. Yeah. Pamela Suarez is here. Hiya, Pamela. How you doing? How you doing? And anybody new? Anybody new while I got a break? Nope. Okay, guys, back to you. Back to you.
Yeah, so Mitch, I need to do the lab test because in the last results, my thyroid gland was overactive. So we needed
no kidding.
to get the medication down. And I think
you've been on medication. Turn your mic up turn your mic up, Tuka. Just if you can, turn your mic volume up just a little bit.
Any better?
Better? There you go. Yeah, better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my thyroid gland was overactive in the last tests, and I think it's because I changed to lion diet. So I needed to do another test to see that we halved the medication. So and I have been maybe 20 years on the hypothyroidism
medication.
So if everything goes okay on Monday with the doctor, I hope I can start to drop completely from meditation.
I hope so. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll let us know. I'm sure you'll let us know
Good
how
luck.
that shakes
Yeah.
out. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Good
thanks.
luck. I'll tell you what, guys, you keep on. I'm not going to make a big fanfare out of it, but
Yeah, I just ordered a box for Christmas, and they're back ordered. Cigars International. They don't know 30, 60,
oh no,
90 days.
yeah,
I
you're
don't
lucky
know.
if you're lucky if you get anything shipped to you these days, man. I'll tell you, the mail
Oh.
has been crazy. I finally got the coffee cups. You know, I talked about it this morning.
Yeah.
Got these great coffee cups from Mark Whistler. Wow, and this one, instead of my old guy face on the other side, he put Kenny.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
My favorite character,
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters from South Park is Kenny, believe it or not. Kenny's a hoot. Oh no, they killed Kenny. You bastards.
Who killed
Did they?
Kenny?
Did they?
How many times has Kenny been killed on South Park? Got to be
Yeah.
at least 100 times. 100 times, and he always seems to come. But for one season there, they didn't bring him back for some reason. They killed him off and left him dead for a while, and then all of a sudden he appeared again.
Yeah, I
That's
was
a great-
close. I took my 37 Buick out for a ride today because it's beautiful, and I lost my brakes halfway home.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
So
Oh,
I got home with the e-brake.
Wow!
So yeah,
You got fluid leak or something?
yeah, I think a wheel cylinder popped in the driver rear.
What the hell are you doing driving a car 10 years older than me? Shit.
Because I love it.
I guess. Wow. 1930. 1937.
7. Yeah.
Oh,
Here.
yeah, 10 years before I was born, your car was built. Holy cow.
Yeah, I got it. Well, I'll show it to you since I brought it up, but it's safely back in the garage. There it is.
Question from
Oh,
McTrusts. Oh, look at that. Holy cow. Keep it there. Keep it there.
Oh,
Keep
man,
it there.
that's
Let's
beautiful.
take a look at this thing. Holy cow,
wow.
look at that.
Whose car is
Back
that?
to
There it
this
is.
question. Is that gorgeous?
That's my baby.
Aha.
Holy cow.
Classic
Look at
car guy
you.
like me.
Look at
Wow.
you, man. Who knew?
That's nice.
God,
Yeah,
that's
Very
gorgeous.
nice.
Did
And
you
this
buy it
is,
like that, or did you rebuild it?
son's car. That's my son's 05. We bought it and found out it's one of 4 made to that spec. So now it doesn't leave
Yeah.
the garage.
Wow.
It's a Roush Mustang and
Nice.
yeah,
Gorgeous, man. Who knew?
yeah.
Who knew
I
you
like
had
the car.
you had all these toys? It's terrific.
Yeah,
You're my new
I
hero.
like my car.
I got a bunch of old cars too.
Rick, everything you got
Yeah,
is
well-
old, man.
Including
you gotta
me.
have a charger,
Including me.
I'm assuming, right?
That's great, Mark. Thanks for showing us that. Anybody else want to take us on a tour of their house, show us their shit? We're up for it.
I would, but I can't carry my computer. It's plugged in.
You know, Greg's always showing us something on the road. He's always into something new out there. Yeah. Anyway, I had a question. Did I lose it? No, here it is. McTrust No One. What did he say? Any thoughts on the best way to take care of yourself while losing fat and releasing the years and years of toxins stored in our fat cells? I don't. Other than doing what you're doing, just eating the right things, avoiding the things that you know are bad for you, especially the sugars and the carbs. Just move. You don't have to kill yourself working out. You don't have to be sprinting. You don't have to do any of that shit, especially if you're overweight and you're trying to get yourself back in shape. People have a tendency to do too much too fast and they injure themselves. And that's very, very counterproductive. But other than that, if you need electrolytes, take them. If you find out you're deficient on any of the major vitamins, chances are it won't be B12. That's for sure. My B12 number is through the roof. It's my vitamin D that was a little low, and that's why I'm taking that supplement. So I take electrolytes, and I have to. If I don't take electrolytes for 3-4 days, I start getting leg cramps at night again. My body has a way of telling me, pay attention, Mitch. you figured out you needed those electrolytes. Keep doing it. So now I religiously mix up every morning. One of my homemade electrolyte mixes. It works and it does the trick. And I've heard from a lot of people that have mixed it up. In fact, I'm about ready to mix up another batch. And I even thought maybe I'll film it again because it's been a while since I filmed that. And I had a lot of questions when I filmed it the last time. So this time, I think I'll mix up a batch, but try to make it much easier to follow and explain everything about it, because you have a tendency in doing these things when you're making them in big batches, you do it in grams, but the actual amounts of the electrolytes that are going to end up in one dose are always in milligrams, which is 1,000th of a gram. And the biggest mix-up from that last video I made was people mixing up grams and milligrams. And I didn't know what the hell they were talking about, and I don't think they understood it either. And they ended up, some of them, mixing it wrong. So I may do that. I have to do that. You know, I got about maybe a week or two left of it, and I'll mix up another batch and maybe record version 2.0 of the electrolyte mix video. And also talk about the, go ahead.
When I mixed up, according to your recipe, I ended up having to add potassium and magnesium, an extra, I think 100 grams of each, because the magnesium citrate really tore my stomach up. So I just, I increased the magnesium and potassium a little bit, and it seemed to settle it down real good.
Well, magnesium citrate is a laxative, and has a laxative effect. And I think this time what I may do is I may do it and then talk about, if you want to use glycinate, magnesium glycinate instead of magnesium citrate, here's what you buy, and here's the changes you need to make to the mix. So instead of what I told you to mix of magnesium citrate, you need this much magnesium glycinate in the 100 dose mix. And the important thing about this in mixing these up is to always keep in mind that when you're mixing the big batch, that you're going to divide by 100 and make individual doses. Forget about what's in an individual dose, forget about milligrams, forget about anything, just concentrate on weighing things in grams, make your batch of 100 doses, and then you worry about dividing it up into doses that weigh about 6 grams each per dose. And that, just because the dose weighs 6 grams doesn't mean you're getting 6 grams of electrolytes. This is another confusing thing about it, is that you may have 6 grams of weight there, but a lot of that weight is the filler that comes in these individual compounds. Like if you have 2 grams of potassium chloride, there's not 2 grams of potassium in there. There might only be 300 milligrams of potassium in there. The rest of it is something else that you can't count as potassium, but it all works out in the end. It all works out. God, I figured that every which way from Sunday, and it is working for me, and nobody has died from it yet. Yeah, that's a scoop.
Yeah, I ordered this on Amazon. It's a 6 gram scoop.
Yeah, and that's what comes when you buy, like Dr. Berg's electrolyte mix in a jar. You get that scoop in the jar. It's about 1 teaspoon is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm using my old Dr. Berg's electrolyte scoop to this day, and I'm using an old Dr. Berg's electrolyte jar to keep it in.
I have to make sure that I stir this or shake it up, because in the truck the vibration causes the salt to migrate to the top of the container.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's interesting. I never really thought of that. At any rate, that question was a good question, but I don't know what I could tell you to take care of yourself while you're losing weight and getting better, other than to just do the things that you know you're supposed to do and move around a little as much as you can without hurting yourself, and get some good sleep. But follow your cues. Eat when you're hungry, stop eating when you're full, and avoid the foods. No cheating. And it should work. I did hear from somebody who said it wasn't working and he was gaining weight like crazy.
I'm wondering if he's working out and just because he's taking in so much protein, he's building muscle, so his numbers are going up, but maybe his waist is going down.
Yeah. I don't know, but I can't risk
because
trying to play doctor
Yeah.
and diagnose an individual
yeah,
because I don't know anything about them. And even a doctor
yeah,
who knows everything about you is wrong 90% of the time. So what chance do we
yeah,
stand,
yeah,
non-doctors here on YouTube? You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, it happened to me that when I was working out, and my weight started to go up a little, and when I stopped working out and still kept the carnivore diet going, my weight was coming down. So could be, but on the other hand, it's just me. So I can't say for anyone else.
Well, that's true. When
So
you work out, you
yeah,
gain muscle. Muscle weighs a hell of a lot more than
yeah,
fat per a given volume of it. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Sis A is here. How you doing? Good to see you. Is it Sis A or Sissy or however you pronounce it? Says hello, fellow carnivores. I want to say hi to people that Dixie Scott. How you doing, Dixie? Good to see you in here this afternoon. We got 82 people now. That's
Rick,
not
is
bad
that
for a Saturday.
Is that chicken or duck?
No, that's heart attack chicken. I didn't get any duck yet.
Oh, okay.
They had chicken on sale at Presidente, so I got 10 pounds of it. I'll probably have like 3 to 5 pounds with my lunch.
Jason H, how you doing? And Beth is here. How you doing? Boulder with a space in between. That must have some significance. Love those car styles. Yeah, that's a gorgeous car there. Gorgeous car. Pamela
pain in the
Suarez
ass.
loves your truck too. Well,
It's
keeping
gorgeous,
anything
but
old
it's-
running. Ask me, I know
Yeah.
that. Keeping anything old running, especially your body, is a challenge. Is a
Yep.
challenge. New York City guy says, are you still working out, Mitch? Not nearly as hard as I used to. Call it half an experiment, half I'm busy. And I did, when I was working out really hard, I did a little screw up my shoulder, my left shoulder, and that knocked me off for a while. I still go out and walk in the morning. I haven't been filming while walking, but I do walk. I push some weights, but nothing as heavy as I used to. I've probably lost some muscle mass. That might be one of the reasons why I'm down to 136 pounds now. But my strength is still there. That's the amazing thing. I still can drop down and do a bunch of push-ups. I'm call it maybe a New Year's resolution, but I think my shoulder is fully healed. I think that I can get back to pushing a little more weight, start to build up a little bit. Why? Who I'm building up for, I don't know. As long as I have the strength and the muscles and the balance to not succumb to what most older people do, and that is risk of falling all the time and things. And my legs are still very strong, and my upper body is pretty strong for a skinny guy. So I'm not worried about it. But I think maybe just from an aesthetic point of view, I look better with maybe just a tad more muscle on my body. So we'll see. The amazing thing is when I start working out, I can build the muscle again. And even at this age, it shows you're never too old.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be too old if you're healthy to put on muscle. That's a good
Give
question.
some of us hope.
Yeah.
Mitch,
Lucky for us, Rick is not paying attention to chat.
I see all the comments.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
I just had a customer come in the store. Mitch, the woman had to be about your age, and she could barely walk. She had a walker. It's so sad.
It is, and that's what happens to these people. And I'm above the average lifespan in this country now, at 77. I mean, that's how bad it's gotten. I'm older than the average. It means that more than half of the people that were born the same year I was are already dead. How many of them went out in agony and suffering? Most of them. I still consider myself a young man. I still feel like a young man. I still have
That's all that matters.
I still have the attitude of a young man, except the cynicism that comes from getting older and just learning how much of what you used to believe is really bullshit. But that, I don't care how old you are. That's something when the more you're at it, the more you play the game, the more you get disillusioned with the way everybody else plays the game. But other than that, physically,
I'm only 18 years old, so bear with me.
yeah, that's been a rough 18 years, man. But for an 18-year-old, you got a hell of a beard, I'll tell you. Yes, sir. I envy that good-looking beard for an 18-year-old. And I'm doing something a little different here today. I'm trying to keep up with the chat at the same time as keeping up with you guys. And we haven't gotten in any really heavy conversations. Here's No Slow says, yes, Mitch, film it. I just got the ingredients and will wait for your assistance. Oh, okay. I'll have to do that. I'll do that. I can mix up another batch of it before I use up what I had. People are talking about using Redmond salt. Yeah, Redmond salt is pretty good stuff, I suppose. I don't know how much of it is hype. I got disillusioned with Element, but that's one of the most hyped products on the carnivore circuit.
Well, they pay big money to they pay big money to their associates to push it. So.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. You know who pays? You know which one of those companies turns out was paying kind of the biggest money at all and giving people the most incentives? It was that Athletic Greens.
Oh yeah, Athletic
that
Greens.
green powder, and they even got, and this is something that surprised me, they even got Andrew Huberman advertising for them.
AG1, is that what you're talking about?
AG1, yeah.
All garbage.
All poison. It's, anything green like that's got to have toxins in it,
Don't eat green stuff.
No, don't eat green food. I know that sounds wrong, and yet I talked about it yesterday morning. The FDA has come out with new guidelines about labeling food using the word. Remember, did you hear me talk about that? Using the word healthy on the label of a food, and they decreed that if it doesn't contain whole grains, fruits, or vegetables, you cannot use the word healthy on the label. That means it's illegal to label a prime rib or a ribeye healthy.
Oh.
Illegal. And then somebody made a comment, well, what if I cut a little hole in that prime rib and put a cherry in it? Yeah, according to the FDA, you could put healthy on the package because you have a fruit in there.
Well, you add a little side of chimichurri.
Yeah, or something. Or put some parsley on it, sprinkle a little parsley on it. Yeah, then it'll be healthy. Let's take it's like the people, and we were talking about this morning.
It's getting
I won't
crazy.
mention her name, but one of the viewers said she was talking about a recent blood test and it scared her. Her LDL was at 500 and something.
Yes.
Yeah, and her HDL was at 71, and her triglycerides were 118, which is about a 1.5 to 1 ratio, which is acceptable. It's within the range of 2 to 1 or less, and that makes her a metabolically healthy person. And if she's got a normal BMI, then that would put her in a near lean mass hyperresponder phenotype, which means that don't give your LDL a second thought. It's right where it's supposed to be to keep you healthy, like me. But you know what? Even if we know all that, that's always that thing nagging at us. What if they're right and I'm wrong? What if what if we're wrong and they're right? Am I killing myself? Well, these days I default to good old or good young Nick Norowitz's Oreo versus statin study. I mean, that was a legal study, commissioned, published. Okay, I mean, it was a real study, and he conducted it like a real study. And he ate a sleeve of Oreo cookies every day for 2 weeks. Lowered his cholesterol by 70% or something like that, down to a number that his doctor would be very happy with, by eating Oreo cookies. He took statins as another episode of this same experiment after letting his body normalize for a few weeks. Then he started the statin part of it, and the statin didn't lower his cholesterol half as much as the stupid Oreo cookies did. So by making himself more unhealthy, eating more sugar, and seed oils, which is all that, and grains, which is everything that's 99% of an Oreo cookie is seed oils, grains, and sugars, and cocoa and chocolate. By eating crap, poisonous food, according to our medical community, he went from imminent heart attack to healthy based on his LDL number. And that, to me, you have to say, wait, what?
That
what?
makes no sense.
Wait, I love that. Wait,
Yeah.
what? It's when something hits you as being so absurd, you have to stop them and say, what? Doesn't make any sense. And then I heard another person in a comment on one of my recent live streams basically said that they've got a doctor's appointment coming up, so they're going to load up on carbs beforehand so that their LDL goes down so that their doctor will be happy. My answer was, pardon my French here, fuck your doctor. What's more important, that you're healthy or your doctor is happy? It boggles the mind. It absolutely boggles the mind.
I was reading somewhere quite a while ago that the reason why they lower the cholesterol values is to get more people under the statin medication. So like,
that's the biggest selling drug.
Yeah,
that's the biggest selling drug in history. So
but Ozempic and the semaglutides, the GLP-1 agonists, I think have surpassed statin sales by now, at least in dollar volume, because those things are freaking expensive. Yeah. And yet, nothing's changing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing.
Speaking of green food, have any of you guys ever seen the movie Soylent Green?
Oh, hell yeah. Soylent Green. Yes.
It's people.
Yeah,
to feed humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you watch the movie to the very end, and then you finally find out something that you probably knew within the first 5 minutes, that they make that shit out of people.
Well, at least it's carnivore.
But then it wouldn't be green, would it?
I got something else that's green that's edible.
A duck?
No, it's green.
Frog?
Iguana.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got plenty of them back here.
But it's
There
not
you go.
green
You
on
gotta
the
start
inside.
cooking.
It's not green on the inside. It's like chicken on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's green on the outside.
That's like the guy who told me the other day in a comment that he's not going to listen to me because I smoke cigars, and everybody knows that plants have carbohydrates, so how can I call myself a carnivore?
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody actually said that.
Again, you can't make that shit up. You cannot make that shit up. Somebody said, you're smoking a cigar. Plants have carbs. So my response to him was that, well, I guess since I don't eat the cigars, I'm probably okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all know my motto by now. My motto, words to live by, when it comes to plants, it's better to smoke plants than to eat plants. How much healthier to smoke them?
I'd rather smoke
Now,
brisket.
We're gonna have lunch.
Oh,
What are you cooking?
by all means. Yeah, it's lunchtime in Phoenix, isn't it? It's coming up, 1 o'clock there?
Aha, nice.
Oh.
Well, I'm stepping out because I got to get some ribeyes done. Lisa's on her way home from work.
All right, Mark, it's always good to see you, young man. Good to see you.
See you,
All right,
Mark.
we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for coming in. Okay, buddy.
All
You
right.
take care.
Bye.
Say hi to
Bye,
Lisa
Mark.
for us, okay?
Absolutely. We'll do. And Merry Christmas if I don't see any of you guys.
Same
Merry
to you
Christmas,
guys.
sir,
Same
Mark.
to you.
Merry
All right.
Christmas.
Do we want eggs or cottage cheese?
I think eggs are always a good bargain. Yeah, eggs.
Sounds good to me.
I'll tell you what, they must work, because I do 5-6 eggs every day. Maybe one day a week I don't eat eggs, but most of the time I eat eggs 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I usually eat bacon with it. Sometimes I'll mix anchovies in it. Sometimes I'll have salmon with it, but the eggs are a constant. And I know that eggs contain pretty much everything we need. Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to miss out on some nutrients that you need if you eat a lot of eggs, especially better eggs if you can find them. And I think those Sam's pasture-raised eggs are not bad because that's what I've been eating, and I'm doing real well on them. And their yolk is a little darker yellow than a normal white egg would be. They're brown eggs, and I know it on the package it says vegetarian fed,
Oh,
but that's marketing shit. That doesn't even mean anything. They put that on there because people think that in order to be healthy, something cannot eat animal products. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the way they've been the average. So the average population won't buy a pasture-raised eggs if they knew that a chicken in the pasture is pecking in the ground for worms and grubs and other protein and animal shit like that, not pecking for grass and grains. And so I think they hide. Believe it or not, I think that they're hiding the fact that that chicken might actually be eating something alive.
has anyone ever thrown meat and grains to chickens and see what they go for first?
Yeah, birds are the same way. You know, throw a bunch of worms and a bunch of corn at a bird and see where they go to. It's like this. The funniest damn things. There's some YouTube videos out there of vegans trying to prove to the world that their dog is a vegan. So they come up with a plate of meat and a plate of vegetables, and they put them on the ground, and they hold on to their dog, and they let the dog go, and the dog always makes a beeline for the meat. And most of them never publish it, but a couple of them have gotten published, and the dog will always go for the meat.
Yeah, dog will never be a vegetarian because the digestive system of a dog is not a vegetarian system.
No, of course not. They have no hindgut. They're monogastric, and so many monogastric animals are omnivores, like a pig. A pig will eat pretty much anything you put in front of it.
You ever see chickens? One chicken gets a scratch or a scrape on it. What the other chickens do?
Attack.
Will they attack it?
They will attack the wound until that chicken's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's why they make little tiny red tinted sunglasses that you can put on the chicken, so they can't.
Oh man, I've never seen that, but that would be the coolest thing, man, to see a whole bunch of chickens walking around cool, like Ray Charles with some sunglasses on. You know, do they snap their fingers when they walk too?
Goes on their beak.
Do they take their little paw and go yo?
The little blinders, they fit on their beak where the nose is.
Yeah. Now, some of these animals are vicious. They say the most vicious animal on the planet is a chimpanzee.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Our closest living ancestor. No wonder we're so screwed up as a species.
You know what their favorite meat is, right?
What?
The little monkeys.
No, what?
Yeah.
The little monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
They'll catch the little monkeys and
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they eat them.
They eat them alive.
Oh man, yeah, it's vicious. And everybody thinks it'd be cute to have a little pet monkey, until he's gnawing on your arm one night in bed.
They're really strong too.
Yeah.
So if if you're feeding pigs, you need to be careful not to knock yourself out and fall with the pigs because they will eat you alive.
Oh, they'll eat you. The gangsters, they used to feed their victims to the pigs. It's a great way to get rid of a body that'll never be found again. Just feed it to the pigs.
There's a pig farmer outside of Vegas that has contracted with all the resorts for their food waste.
That's perfect for a pig. Yeah.
He puts it. He processes all the food waste. He boils it, to make sure there's nothing in it. He cleans it, whatever, and then he feeds the slop to his pigs. He's probably got a couple thousand pigs on his farm.
Wow.
Well, that's what they evolved to eat, and they know what to eat. I mean, that's the one thing about animals. Humans are the only animals that have in most cases have no instinctive knowledge about what they should be eating. Mm-hmm. They're driven completely by their addictions, which have been so hijacked that we're all out of control. It's
all.
nuts.
Wasn't the first face transplant because a woman or a person got their face ripped off by a chimpanzee?
Yeah.
Well, it's possible. I haven't heard of that particular case, but that's certainly possible. Let's see.
Okay, guys, I think I need to drop out. So enjoy yourself, and I will be listening. But enjoy.
All right,
enjoy
Tuca.
that
Thanks
stream.
for coming in,
All
buddy.
right.
You know, it's always good
Thanks,
to see
folks.
you, and we'll see you again on Tuesday night, I guess.
See you, Tuca.
Yeah,
If you're not
we
up
have
in the middle.
yeah. Christmas Eve. If I'm awake, I will join you definitely.
That's right. Tuesday night. Wednesday is Christmas, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Tuesday
Yeah.
night's Christmas Eve. I
Yeah.
guess I'll probably. I have nothing better to do. I'll probably do the live stream.
Okay.
I'll probably do the live stream.
I try to join you guys.
I may have to not do a private community live stream on Thursday. No, Wednesday's Christmas. No, that's fine. Yeah, Thursday's okay. It's the day after Christmas. Yeah, it worked out fine. But I'm going to my son's house on Christmas for dinner.
Yeah. So if I don't see you guys, Merry Christmas. Have a nice holidays too, and
Merry Christmas,
enjoy
Tuca.
yourself and in meat.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye,
Take
people.
care.
Thanks. Here's a question from FX Trader. 1 teaspoon of electrolytes for how much water? However much you want, as long as you drink it all before the day's out. Doesn't
I gotta
matter
run too, guys.
how much you dilute it. The more you dilute it, the less salty it's going to taste. I put mine in a 40-ounce tumbler every morning, a 40-ounce thermos.
This is 20.
It's the one that I have on my website. It's a stainless steel jug and comes with a built-in drinking straw. It's really cool. And it's 20-something bucks. It's pretty cheap. And I mix one of those 40 ounces up, and I just sip, and it keeps it ice cold all day out of the refrigerator, and I just sip on that anytime I get thirsty. And in 40 ounces of water, you can still taste such a tiny little taste of salt that you don't even notice it. The only time you'd notice it was if you took a sip of just clear water afterwards. But and by the end of the day, I've always gone through the 40 ounces of water. And it doesn't matter over what time period during the day you get those electrolytes. It's just sometime during the day, the total of them should go into your body. And it seems to work that way. So yeah, no, it's not something that's like a recipe when you got to mix it with water. Anything you want. If you want to get it out of the way real fast and you don't mind drinking something that tastes like ocean water, mix it up in a couple ounces of water and take it down like a shot. Not for me.
We'll see you guys. I gotta run.
All right, Spanky. Good to
Take
see you, man.
Take
Good
care.
to hear.
Merry Christmas to everybody out there watching, and you guys, and be safe.
Thank you.
Merry
Thank you,
Christmas, Spanky. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you guys too. Cheers.
Who is this here? Juan Manuel. Hey, Juan, how you doing, my friend from Chile? Good to see you.
Hey,
Good to
Juan.
see you. Glad you're doing well. And who is this here? Oh, he's saying hi to everybody. Hi, Pamela. Tammy Pitarch. What's Rick eating? A bucket of chicken. Rick's eating what he calls heart attack chicken. Tell us, Rick, what is the recipe for heart attack chicken?
Heart attack chicken is the easiest thing to make. All you need is some chicken pieces and some beef tallow or lard to fry it in. That's it. You get your tallow or lard hot, drop in the chicken, and in about 20 minutes, you have the most delicious, crispy, wonderful chicken you could ever want. And if you want to add something to it, just add a little bit of salt. That's all you need.
Perfect. That reminds me of what I'm having for dinner tonight. I am making my salmon cakes for dinner tonight.
I got to try that recipe.
Oh man, that's one of my. I have alternatives, and I do that about once a month. But you just put a shitload of bacon grease in a pan, heat it up to about 375, and you take 1 can of that wild-caught salmon, and it has everything in it. It has some skin, some bones, cartilage, collagen. It's got everything in there. It's ground up from the whole fish. And you put it in a bowl. You throw 3 or 4 tablespoons of pork rind crumbs into the mix. You put an egg or 2 in the mix. I put on a rubber glove I stick my hand in it and squish it up for a while and mix it all together. Make 4 good-sized patties out of it. I mean, it's a lot of food. It's a lot of food. By the time I get to the end of that last one, or get down to the 4th of the 4 patties, I say, I want to just put this in the refrigerator. But I just always end up eating all of them. So it's a little more than a pound of food.
There you go, Mitch.
You don't,
I know it's not your favorite.
Look at this. Look at this lunch. Eggs. Oh, man.
Nice and runny, eggs sunny side up.
You are the best fed truck driver on the road today, my friend.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Linda Price, Rick, says, you are making me hungry. Very cool. Very cool.
I never tried that salmon recipe. That's interesting.
I got a video of that. It's so easy. It takes 5 minutes to prepare everything.
That's what I love about the carnivore diet.
Yeah, I put the pan on the stove. I go to my bacon grease catcher in the refrigerator where I pour the bacon grease. I take out enough, 3 big heaping globs of it, and gives me at least a 1/4 inch of grease when it's melted in the bottom of the pan. It's like deep frying. I don't put any coating on these things. You don't have to dip them. You don't have to coat them in pork rind crumbs. The pork rinds are in there. They firm it up just enough. That and the egg firms up this, because I even use the liquid from the can too. I use everything. So it is a little squishy, but the pork rind crumbs soak it up and the egg gives it some body and it holds together in a patty shape. When you put it in the grease, then as it cooks, it firms up a little bit. And, and I leave them in there and let them cook for a while until they really get good and dark, golden brown. And the insides of those, what happens is the outside develops a crust, like a crunch on it, and the inside is still juicy as hell and great flavor. You don't have to add any salt or anything because the pork rind crumbs are salty. And it works out perfectly. I love those things. I love those things. And one can. And I got that on my Amazon links too. Got them from Amazon. They come in a dozen cans to a flat. And sometimes they're on sale. Whenever they're on sale, I always buy another flat of them. I'm looking at the chat here. Yes, one of them. I'm going to start saving all the bacon grease I end up with so I can make heart attack chicken too. Yeah, bacon grease it's great. You make bacon. Now, what I do is I only put some of the grease into the bacon catcher, and I like to fry my eggs in a decent amount of grease too. The omelet and the eggs will actually soak it up. So what happens when you're done and you take the egg out of the pan, you got almost a dry, clean pan. You just wipe it out with a paper towel, throw it back on the stove for tomorrow.
I bought the grease catcher pot, Mitch, from your site. So I bought the Mueller pan. So I do exactly what you do.
Oh, good. Good. You can't go wrong. You certainly can't go wrong with it.
I leave a little bit of the bacon grease in the pan for the eggs, but not all of it. Not all of it. That's too much. So I siphon off some.
Yeah, I take about half and half. I pour about half of it in the grease catcher, and the other half I leave in the pan so I can eat it, because I still want to make sure I get an adequate amount of fat with that bacon and egg meal.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And that may be one of the reasons I do so well on this lifestyle without having to think about too much, because my main meal of the day is usually the bacon and eggs, and you have to really screw up to not get enough fat when you eat bacon and eggs. I don't know what you could do, because eggs have half fat in them anyway. So you're exactly right there. And if you eat some of the bacon grease, you're getting plenty of fat. You're getting plenty of fat.
Well, I haven't eaten bacon in a long time.
Oh man, I live on that shit.
It's just too expensive now.
Really, I'm buying the Wright's bacon. It cost me about $5 a pound.
Yeah, but see, beef is cheaper than that. I can get ground beef for $3 a pound. So it's like, why would I waste my time with bacon? I mean, I don't care if bacon costs $10 a pound, and that's the cheapest I can get. I'm still eating bacon, my friend. There are things that I won't compromise on. Mama Bear says hello. How you doing? How you doing, Mama Bear? Always good to see you. Glad you could come in. Got 92 people here. Wow, 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 wow. Anybody buy me a coffee?
Holy cow, I haven't seen my phone go off here. Not at all. I'm surprised. I asked for so little. No, nobody has bought me a cup of coffee, and my cup is getting empty here. I might panic here pretty soon. Let me throw that link back up there again. And here it is. Buy me a coffee. Shameless plug, guys. You know what I need to do, guys? I need to dress up like a vagrant. Make a cardboard sign that says, buy me a coffee. And hold it up to the camera.
I've had people give me money when I'm locking up my bike, so I must look pretty poor.
That's funny. That's funny. And, I showed you guys how much YouTube pays me. I showed you guys on the private live stream, and anybody with any half business sense and a sense of their own self-worth would say, Mitch, are you absolutely out of your mind? Working for that kind of money, the kind of work that I do, are you crazy? Listen, most...
It's a labor of love.
It is, but I still need to make a living. I need to eat, Geez, I wish I was independently wealthy. I would donate all my time, believe me. But I don't do volunteer work either. I can't afford to do it. Life didn't work out so great for me, even though I had great successes at certain points in my life. I also had big failures, too. So it is what it is. Make the best of it, people. I don't care how much money you got and everything. You can always find something to make you happy and something to live for. And I learned the hardest lesson of my life too late, and that was simpler is better and easier and healthier. Peter went sideways. Okay, my phone went ding. Let's see. Yes. Proving once again my father, the smartest man that ever walked the face of the earth, was always right. When he told me, he says to me, Mitch, I'll never forget, I can still hear him say this. I can still hear his voice. He used to say to me, if you don't ask, you don't get. Ask any salesman, right, Peter? If that isn't the bottom line and say, you don't close, you never make a sale. You don't ask, you never get. And that's so true. So true. Don Schonger, thank you so much, my friend. Don Schonger says, love your content. Oh, I'm so happy about that.
And Mitch, there's also ABC. Always be closing.
Yeah. Listen, man, I've been to every J. Douglas Edwards sales course that ever lived. You ever read or listen to J. Douglas Edwards? J. Douglas Edwards is the guy who invented the whole routine, where he used to say to his he used to have an audience in front of him, and he used to say very quietly into the microphone, Peter, he would say, whenever you ask a closing question, and you know what a closing question is, Peter. Is this going to be cash or credit card? Do you want this in red or blue? Those are called alternative choice closes. But there are all kinds of closes. You can close on an objection. You answer their objection, but you say, is that the only thing that's keeping you from buying? If I answer that for you, will that solve the last of your doubts? That's also a closing question.
You ever heard of the takeaway close?
Yeah, I've heard of all of them, man. At any rate.
Takeaway is like, you know what? This probably isn't right for you. This
Oh,
is...
no, yeah. But here's the thing I was saying, and J. Douglas Edwards, man, I'll never forget this, and I've watched so many of his recordings, and I used some of his recordings when I was teaching my salesmen how to sell in some of my businesses. He would ask very quietly, he'd say, whenever you ask a closing question, and he'd go, let me move the microphone away, shut up! He would say, shut up. When you've asked that question, and then he would say, the first one that talks loses. And that, my friend, is the most valuable advice any salesman can learn. When you've asked somebody the question, put them on the spot to answer. One of those answers could be yes. If you start talking again, you've let them right off the hook. So that's how salesmen do it. And you go into a car dealer, and they don't open their mouth unless a closing question comes out in some form or another. Yeah, it's a real science. Listen, sales is a real art and science. And what am I using all that sales talent I have for? Begging for coffee now and then. And I got another coffee. Jerry Graham bought me 3 coffees. Thank you. And Marla Kelly bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. See, it takes so little to make me happy. And I certainly do appreciate it. And Jerry Graham says, my dad always says something very similar to yours. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Merry Christmas, Mitch. We appreciate you. And I appreciate all of you. Whether you buy me coffees or not. These things they're like a tip. It makes me feel good, and it does add up to something that helps. Individually, each one of these is not going to keep me alive or support me, but I've got a lot of viewers, and so a coffee here, a coffee there, it does add up by the end of the month. Maybe it'll pay my lot rent here in the place where I live, and that's what I need to do. So thank you so much. And I hate begging. I hate asking for anything. I was my whole life such an independent guy. I never asked anybody for anything. I don't even ask my kids today to do anything for me. I don't want to impose on anybody. So believe it, when I say buy me a coffee, it's a painful necessity for me. And inside and quietly, I'm a little ashamed of myself for having to do it. But I don't want to go out into the workforce again, which I could, and do that kind of work. This is so much more rewarding for me. And fun. I have a ball with you guys. I have company from you guys. You guys are my circle of friends now. I don't have any friends outside of this community. I don't want any.
No.
You don't want to hang out with the old ladies at the shuffleboard court?
No, thank you. Marla Kelly says, love your podcasts. Well, Marla likes them as a podcast too. Enjoy the coffee. Thank you, Marla. I will. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Very, very nice of you.
I only hang out with people that are actively trying to give themselves a massive coronary. I mean, if Rick can go 41 years and still be failing miserably, then I got to go with that crowd. Crowd because all my friends that are eating the standard American diet are having coronaries.
That's funny. I mean, that's so true. It's funny. Honest. Yeah, that's funny. I only hang out with people that are actively trying to give themselves a heart attack.
Come on.
I mean, it's funny, but it's so sad, isn't it? It is so sad.
I had a friend, Mitch, 55 years old, Mitch, dropped dead of a coronary. Perfectly healthy. He was a runner, but he ate all the carbs. He ate all the cake and all the cookies, and he ate his grains and his bread, and he ate his broccoli, and he ate his cauliflower and his green beans.
and his spinach smoothies, probably.
He did. He was a juicer. Yeah.
Yuck.
He was probably what they call TOFI, TOFI.
He was thin. He ran. He was a runner. And then I knew another guy. I think he was 40. I want to say 48. He ran all the time and healthy. He got home from a run, and I guess as he was cooling down, he had a massive coronary and died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know Jim Fix? Fix?
The runner. Yeah, the runner.
Same thing.
Yeah, he wrote the book. Well, what's his name? The Australian runner, Dr. Noakes, Tim Noakes.
Yeah.
He wrote the book on running, about carb loading and all that stuff, until he finally learned and figured out that was bad advice. And he did a complete about-face, said never mind to the whole world, and then wrote a book about carnivore and low carb.
Mm-hmm.
Changed his mind completely, and they tried to take his medical license away because of that too.
Mm-hmm.
God, a couple of those guys over on Australia or New Zealand, they went after them hard because they were given what they considered deadly advice, telling people to eat meat. What a screwed up world. Pamela Suarez say I'm paying $10 a pound. Wow. I don't know where you live or where you are, but go into Sam's Club.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I get the 10-pound chub for $32, $33.
Oh, that's crazy, but that's not bacon.
No. I mean for ground beef. Bacon.
That's terrific. I'm paying $4 a pound, $4 and change a pound now for those those 10-pound chubs. Peter, it looks like you have somebody behind you that wants your attention. She went away though.
Mitch is doing better though.
The Wright's bacon at Costco it's a 4-pack, and it's $21, I think.
$21, yeah. It's been down as low as like $14 or $15, and I used to, when it gets, but they don't put it on special anymore. And it was a couple weeks ago about $20, and then they raised it $1 something because I went in the other day and it was 21 and change. But still, I'm paying it. I'm going to pay it. If it's 25, I'll pay it. It's still cheap. It's still cheap. You eat a half a pound. So you eat a half a pound. I eat a half a pound a day. What's that? $2-3 a day? That's not bad.
Well, if it gets too expensive, I'll just make my own.
Mitch, have you ever tried the Aldi? It looks just like Wright's.
I've tried some of Aldi's bacon. It's not bad. I was buying, it wasn't thick cut, but I was buying it for like $3.49 a pound, but that was a while ago.
Because they have the one that's, it's like a brick, like the brick, just like.
I haven't seen that. I don't go to Aldi's hardly ever anymore, Peter. I don't like their meats at all. I don't like the way they package them.
Too expensive.
They have very little or no beef. I used to buy ground beef. When I was in keto, I bought everything at Aldi's. I went to Aldi's almost every day, but it gets to the point now where I don't even need to go to Sam's Club any more than once every couple of weeks. The only thing I ever run out of is eggs.
Yeah.
So this last time I bought 9 dozen eggs, and that'll keep me for a while. But when you eat 5 eggs a day, it doesn't take you long. It doesn't take you 20 days to go through 9 dozen eggs.
That's right.
Yeah. And now we got this egg shortage. So, geez.
I've had to go to 3 eggs a day. I'm not happy about it.
Well,
yeah,
sorry to hear that.
And my ducks ran away. That's the worst part.
Oh, man. You and Tony Soprano. Oh, and look what happened to Tony Soprano when his ducks flew off. Holy cow, it screwed up his whole life.
All right, Mitch. We want El Rey or Diesel Disciple?
Oh, no. Go for the El Rey, man. Mitch is in the house. King of the world, okay? Come on.
You guys are better at the heart attacks. You got cigars. I don't even have that.
Oh, hell, I try every day, and damn, I can't get it to happen. I just keep feeling better and better. I don't understand it. I must not be human. I must be one of those aliens that they talk about, because I'm not supposed to react this way. Not according to everybody.
You see what I had for lunch? Well, my meal for today.
Unbelievable. And then I'm going to drag out a half a pound of bacon grease tonight and fry stuff up in it.
New York strip and 5 eggs sunny side up.
Oh, man. If it wasn't so sad, it'd be absolutely astounding and funny. It is funny to us. It really is funny to us because we see the absurdity in it, and we know where it all came from. We know the origin of the absurdity, which makes it a lot more believable when you can actually see in history written down where anybody and everybody can see it, and nobody disputes Ellen G. White or Ansel Keys or Harvey Kellogg. Nobody disputes their story.
Well, most people don't know about it. That's the thing.
That's right.
Exactly, and they're not allowed to know about it. Anything that comes out or anything is quashed nipped in the bud, and if it does get out, a dump truck load of whatever that message is, propaganda hits the media everywhere, all at one time, from all the players that are making so much money at this nonsense.
Mm-hmm. And yet there's some of us that did it even despite what they told us. That's the funny part.
Yeah, because we found out some things for ourselves.
That's right. We found out that it's better to have a heart attack than to be weak and old and sick.
Is that noise coming from you, Greg? Yes, whatever it was, it sounds like a motor or something running intermittently, but that's all right. I just want to make sure it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You turn your mic back on and it's doing it. What is it that's making that noise?
It's either my APU or the guy next to me running a reefer.
Okay. That's okay.
He's not smoking one.
Yeah, as long as he can smoke one if he wants. Once again, live and let live, my friends.
Otherwise, it'll be like a Cheech and Chong movie.
Oh God, yeah. Those are some great movies. Who is this here? This is Jerry Graham. Coffee on me. Yes, Jerry. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate that, guys. Definitely appreciate it.
Did you ever see the movie We Are the Millers or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't think I don't remember that one.
That's a great movie.
A gay movie.
No, don't remember it. Don't mind me, guys. I'm scooching down the chat. Seeing as this is a public live stream open to everybody, I do not want to make anybody feel left out. Terry Sue, how you doing, Terry? Shoot, internet is out. Now my husband can't watch TV. Just when I was going to try to jump in. Just when I was going to. Everything anybody says that even sounds like that reminds me of that line from The Godfathers. The line from the famous line, like, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. There's humor. That's the great thing about if you got a sense of humor, and I think most of us do. I've seen that. I've seen great humor in most of you guys at some point or another. And if I ever lost my sense of humor, I'm done, man. Just put me out with the trash, because why bother living if you can't find something funny in almost everything? You know what I mean? It's crazy. And you know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the UPS guy to get here today. I don't think he's gotten here yet, but I had a delivery that was supposed to come on Monday, but I got a notice it was coming today. It's my repaired cell phone from Samsung. You know, the orange cell phone that I have? I'm using my old S22 here, but I have an S24, which is 2 years newer than this. The good news is this doesn't seem to work any less than that one does. So I wonder, why did I need a new one if this thing seems to be exactly the same cell phone as the S24, except it doesn't have AI and some of this new shit in it. But so the USB plug in the bottom just kind of broke. It wouldn't. You couldn't get the USB to make connection. You know, if I tried to plug it in my car to the Android Auto, it would fall out. If I tried to charge, you had to really push hard on it and hold it in order. So when I wanted to try to copy some files off the phone, it made it a real problem. So I said, oh shit, I don't want to send this to them to fix. But it's less than a year old, for God's sakes, and it was like a $1,400 cell phone. Yeah. So I bit the bullet. I transferred everything over to this phone. Samsung's got a great app. It's called Samsung Switch. You can hook up either by Wi-Fi or by cable, but I used Wi-Fi because I don't trust the connector didn't work. And it moves everything from one phone to another. All your files, all your settings, your home screen, the layout of your icons, pretty much everything. And you end up with almost a clone of the phone that you saw. I did that. So this phone looks exactly the same, has all the icons in the same place. And I sent it into them, and they don't tell you what they did to fix it. They did say replaced bad components. So hopefully they put a new USB jack in there, and I'm waiting with bated breath to get it back today to find out if they actually repaired it. I just went through that with Dell, with that other notebook computer, but that seems to be working pretty good. So we'll see. Also, Gregory Smith bought me 3 coffees. Ah, man, I love you, man. He's on the phone. He can't hear me, but can you hear me? I'm thanking you. I'm thanking you for the coffees.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm thanking you. I'm telling everybody how much I love you. I'm telling everybody.
Hey, you were talking about UPS, and while you were talking about it, I got a notification. One of my wife's Christmas presents came, so I had to call her and tell her, "Don't open the box. Just give it to my daughter to wrap."
And now you wonder if she'll actually listen to what you said.
Yeah, she will.
Oh, Peter's pointing me to, look at this. Holy cow! Rick has got another old cell phone. You could open up a store, a surplus store there in Miami with all the shit
Old
that you have.
rotary.
Look at that old rotary phone. Holy cow!
This is my broken phone. See, it doesn't dial.
Oh, that's useless then.
Well, that's easy to fix. You just got to clean it.
It's trying. It's coming back. It's coming back a little bit there. Yeah.
So what I had to do, I had to upgrade to the latest model.
I wish I had all my old cell phones. I wish I had saved those old. I had every cell phone from the first cell phone that ever came out.
I got some of my old ones too.
Man, here we go. I had.
Did you have a Motorola flip phone, Mitch?
I had everything. I had the first phone in a bag. Remember the bag phone?
Yeah. That my dad
had one of those. And then they came out with the bricks with those big fat batteries on them, those brick looking things. And then
hey Mitch, I used to have an avionics shop. And,
no shit.
Yeah. And we bought one of those Motorola brick phones when it first came out for for the office use and whatnot. And I left the fucking thing on a wing on a Piper Cub and dropped it taxiing down the taxiway.
Oh,
and it still worked.
Still worked.
Yeah, those things are indestructible.
I was in the building business when those were out, and so it was great for a contractor because I was always out somewhere on a job site, and everywhere I was always fringe cell service. It was always very annoying, but they were handy. And then from that, we went into the flip phones, and the flip phones kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and that became a running gag. And one night on Saturday Night Live, they had a gag where they had a little thing that was supposed to be a flip phone, and it was this tall, and they went. And I was waiting for that. I would have bought that too. And then from there, Nokia came along, and now Nokia was the big player. So we started buying all these Nokia. They called them candy bar phones because they were about the size of a Snickers bar. Remember those?
Did you ever have a BlackBerry?
No, I never had a BlackBerry. Then the phones started getting bigger, and then
I had a BlackBerry.
And then Samsung came out with their first. What did they call it? It looked like a huge phone, but a tiny tablet. What was the name of that? All right, I got the first one of those. Did
you get the one with the stylus in it?
Yeah, it had the pen in it.
Yeah.
And this phone was still half the size of the cell phones that we have today. Yeah, you got a flip phone. Oh, look at that with a keyboard. Holy cow. Man, look at you.
That's a third-party keyboard, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It plugged into the port.
And every time they came out with a new phone, I had to have it. I'm such a gadget freak. I had to have it. So I just kept buying these new phones, and I had the, what was the name of that? HTC, was it? They had a little flip phone that looked like a little notebook computer, tiny little thing, and had a little keyboard, and I had one of those. And then finally the first iPhone came out, and I got one of those. And I decided after a year, me and Apple just don't get along.
Yeah, I remember that brick phone. We would pay around $1,500 a month.
Oh, I never paid that much I never paid that much for cell service, but I did have a car phone back in the old VHF days.
Yeah. I
had a Lincoln, a white on white in white Lincoln Continental Mark III. Big two-door, those tank. You remember how big those cars are? 460. And I had a phone in it. And
Isn't that what Mark was driving that day when we went to coffee?
So, yeah, he was driving like an old town car.
Yeah.
4-door. But the Mark III. I had and then I had a Mark IV after that, a maroon one. But this was what they used to call white on white in white. It had was a white car with a white top and white leather interior. It was. I was styling, man. I had a car phone in it, and in the entirety of Tampa Bay area, there were only 4 channels for car phones to use, and we had to share them. Now, I see that. Look at that.
Yeah, but that was a VHF. That was VHF based, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you could just push a button. You had 4 buttons on top for the channels, and you could just sit and listen. You could, when you're driving, it was great entertainment just to listen to other people's phone calls. All you had to do was push the button and listen. I heard some serious shit on that, man.
Desktop intercom.
Oh, yeah. Look at that stuff, man. Look at that stuff. Anyway, I was one of 300 people in the entire Tampa Bay area that had a car phone. That's how special I was back in those days. I actually got a cell phone, and it had the big box this big in the trunk.
Yep.
Big transmitter box and a big antenna sticking up off the trunk lid. You know, big long antenna, maybe 3 feet, a big whip antenna, VHF, and those were the days. And then I went from that to the bag phone when the cell phones came out. I said, this is neat. I got a bag, and you walk around with that bag slung over your shoulder and a regular handset coming out with a coiled cord, just like a telephone. You sit and walk along. And there was a joke that I heard once. It was the funniest thing. You know, it's about about so many people back in the old cell phone days, they had it just as a status symbol. They didn't even really need it. It was just such a status symbol. And they were always showing it off. They were always showing it off. Oh, the guy's got a payphone, too. Man, I'd hate to see the room he's running back to get all this shit out of, because every time we get on the stream, he just keeps going finding new shit out, old shit back there.
Mitch,
but anyway,
Mitch.
this guy was telling me a joke, and he said, it wasn't a joke. Well, it might have been a joke, but I thought it was funny. He says, yeah, a friend of mine had a cell phone, and he used to just piss everybody off. He pissed off all his old friends, they were always jealous of him. So one of his friends decided, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being one. What is that?
It's the predecessor to a wireless home automation system.
Oh my God. So before I lose my train of thought here, let me finish this story. And let me have a swig of something here. All right, enough, Rick. Quit interrupting me. So one of his friends finally got fed up and says, that's it, I've had enough of this shit. So he got himself a cell phone. He got himself a car phone. Who was the first person he called on his car phone? He called the other guy in his car. Hey, John. Says, Bob, how you doing? Guess where I'm calling from. Bob said, hey, man, hang on a second, will you? I got a call on the other line. Which goes to show you, man, you can never keep up with the Joneses, no matter what you do. Hang on a minute, I got a call on the other line.
That old brick phone.
Funny.
That old brick phone was a kick.
Oh, yeah. But that was back in the 70s, man. That was in the early to mid 70s. That's how long ago that was. Wow. What do we got here? My phone just went ding again.
What is that, Rick?
Here's a question for all you old timers. What is this?
I can't see it. I have no idea what that is.
It's the thing you put on a record player when you play 45s. It has a little tab that sticks out. Like when you have the changer, the record changer.
You're absolutely right. That is old time stuff. Mm-hmm. Old time stuff. Oh, Carolyn. Oh, okay. Did you see that thing this morning on my live stream where I showed off the Aussie gal's Christmas card that she sent me? And I didn't know if she got the message. And so I showed it off on the live stream this morning. And then she actually made a comment on the 2 replays of the 2 previous days before today's morning coffee live streams, and said and left a comment, but it wasn't about the Christmas card. So I answered those comments and said, yeah, I finally got it. I talked about your Christmas card. She just sent me an email. Hi, Mitch. So glad you received your Christmas card. So glad that you enjoyed it so much. I watched your replay this morning. Was happy to hear that it arrived. U.S. Postal Service does work. Thank you for all you do in making everything about Carnivore so simple and doable. Appreciated it and your good humor. I've lost 38 pounds so far from 198 pounds. Sending you some before and after pics. And she has sent me, oh, look at this. She has sent me some pics. I'm not going to show them to you today. I'm going to save them for tomorrow morning on the live stream, and I'll show everybody these pictures when I can get them on my computer where I can show them as opposed to just holding the phone up. But that's great. Carolyn, thank you so much, sweetie. It was above and beyond that card. It was gorgeous. And I'm sure Ellen, I'm going to send it to Ellen because she addressed it to Mitch and Ellen. And I'm sure Ellen's going to enjoy it as much as I did. And Ellen will probably keep it forever. Finished the coffee, guys. Finished the coffee. Let me turn off the coffee cup warmer here. Put the cup away. Righty, what time is it? 20 minutes till. Wow, we're still going. I'm still looking at the chat. Oops, we got 87 people. Well, we got people hanging in here today. That's great for a Saturday before Christmas. I don't know about you, but there's no way you'd get me out into the stores today. I don't care what you do.
There was so much traffic coming. You know, Phoenix traditionally has traffic, but I figured Saturday afternoon there shouldn't be a lot. It was freaking ridiculous coming in here.
Everybody's out. I'm reading the chat, Sky. I'm not ignoring you. Terry says, whenever my husband washes our coffee cups, he always turns the Mitch cup facing away. I think it's passive-aggressive jealousy. That's funny. That's great. That's really funny, Terry. Ellen chimed in. Of course, Ellen would chime in on this. $1,400 for a phone. I'm cheap. I have an iPhone 8 with a cracked screen. I think I paid $99 for it. Well, you're not a friggin' techno junkie addict like I am, Ellen. You can tell. Have you ever taken the time, I'm sure you have, to even look at the lengths I go to do something I could probably do on just holding up a phone in front of me? Even your iPhone 8, I could probably do a live stream on it. No, not me. Got to be Command Central for me. I need to be able to do things that I hardly ever use.
Yeah, Verizon just sent me an email wanting me to upgrade my phone to the new.
They want you to.
iPhone.
What is your contract about running out?
Oh yeah, my phone's paid for, and I've been with Verizon 15 years.
Well, you're still with them, but they want to guarantee that you're going to be with them for the next 3 years. Who do we lose? Peter. We lost Peter. Yep. They want to guarantee that you're going to be with them for the next 3 years too. Yeah. I don't get my phones through the phone companies. I get my phones. I buy my phones. I buy unlocked phones, and just put the SIM card in them, and they always work. And I have my cell phone plan with my daughter's company.
Well, I use Verizon because of their coverage. You know, I'm all over the country, and I have to have service. So
Rick's got more phones over there, but nobody was paying attention to him.
I don't know if I should use rotary or touch tone.
Yeah, I used it. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I touched a phone that wasn't a cell phone between you and me.
Really?
I think most of us are like that now. Most of us have a cell phone. I think home phones are a thing of the past.
I got my first cell phone, I think it was 1989, and it was a Motorola Dynatac. I got from Service Merchandise because they had an offer. And I had so many cell phones my whole life. Everything was cell phone. And then around 2012, I just said, you know what? I don't want a cell phone anymore, and I haven't had one since.
Wow, I can't imagine. For me, it's not just a cell phone. In fact, I never talk on it. I do everything on my cell phone except talk on it.
Yeah, I'm the same.
It's a computer. It's a computer. Mitch, here, FX Trader says, how much was that car phone in service, Mitch? The car phone cost over $3,000 back in the early 70s, which would be like $10,000 today. And the service was $200-300 a month, something like that. It was more expensive than cell phone service, but there were only 300 people in the whole Tampa Bay area. That's the whole of Tampa, St. Petersburg. That's all they had the capacity to serve on the 4 channels that they had available to them in that area. So there were very few car phones, and it had to be expensive, I guess. But I always made money in my life, so that money didn't matter to me back then. Today, I would never do that. Today, I used to joke with people before I went on Carnivore and I started making, money again after my disaster. There was years and years and years where I agonized over the fact that cucumbers cost 8 cents more today than they did yesterday. I've lived that way for a while. It's tough after a lifetime of extravagance too.
Yeah.
But I did it, and I survived it. I'm proud of myself for surviving it without taking what they call, like Neil Borch used to call it, the eternal celestial dirt nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to, when we had the shop, I built a pedo box. It tests all the air pressure.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Pedo horizon and everything. And we would fly into all these small community airports, and you'd radio the FBO and let them know you're coming in and this is what we're here for. We built up a reputation all over Southern California. And so our phone would, by the time we land, the phone's ringing off the hook. Come do our certification, come do this, come do that, And so, like I said, our bill was probably $1,500 a month for minutes.
Wow. Wow.
But it was worth it for us.
I'm still looking down the chat, guys. I'm trying not to ignore you. FX Trader has another question. Does rotary phone still work? Yeah.
Well,
You can still hook a rotary phone up to a standard telephone line and it'll work.
if you can find a place that still has landline service, I got rid of my landline over 10 years ago.
Yeah, very few people still have that. Most of them have it through their internet provider. It comes in along with your cable TV signal.
My house is wired for landline, and there's an AT&T box out of the street.
Yes, it's not hooked up though, is it?
No, I don't have a service, but it is wired for it. It's available.
If you're running voice over IP, there's actually a couple of ATAs that do have the rotary capability. I have one. I'm trying to remember what brand it is. I think it might be, I don't think it's Linksys. It's one of those. And then the other one, they have that device called a Cell2 jack that works with Bluetooth. You could actually hook up a rotary phone to that and then use your cell phone service. So there's ways of doing it. But the way I do it, I have a computer with a program called Asterisk that's running in Linux. It's CentOS. I don't know if it's 6 or 7. I forget the version. And then I use a channel bank as a way of converting the digital back to an analog signal. So, and that'll ring the phones, and I can use the rotary phones, and I can use the touch phone. Yeah.
I don't think there'd be much of an audience for a YouTube video on how to use a rotary phone.
My aunt's house still has 2-wire plug-in lines where you have one phone and you take it from room to room and plug it into the 2-wire jack.
I have the 4 prongs that are like that. 4-prong jack. There's like a plug.
I remember the party lines when I was a kid. We actually had a party line.
I remember that too.
Yeah. Shows you how far back I go. Yeah. Well, listen, guys. They've all left us. It's been great. But I'm going to call it an afternoon and go eat my second meal of the day. I hear those salmon patties calling to me, and I don't like to eat too late, so I'm going to get going here. We had a pretty good showing this afternoon. That was great, and we managed to do it for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Not bad, not bad. Listen, thanks so much for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll probably see you before too long. Have a great holiday if I don't see you.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for coming in, Rick. Always appreciate it. Greg, thanks for everything, man.
Yep.
Take care. All righty. And the rest of you that are here, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Always great to see you. Hope you were entertained by all the lunatics, including me, that were on the stage this afternoon. And I encourage every one of you, join us. Join us next Saturday. Or if you're in the private community, come on in and let us meet you. Put some faces to the names. It's fun. It's great, and nothing to be nervous about because you're among friends here. Nobody will judge anything. Everybody has stage fright when they first do it. And pretty soon you forget and you're just sitting there talking to your friends. And it's just a fulfilling thing to do. So I urge everybody, think about it maybe for next time, maybe next Saturday. Next Saturday will be between Christmas and New Year's. Wow. Talk about a week where absolutely nothing happens. That's it. That's it. Start holding our breath for the first of the year and away we go. All right, everybody. I think I want to exit on a little blues today. I think I want to exit. Oops, what did I push? What did I push? There it is. I pushed an echo. How about that? That was cool. I like that. And let's see what I got here. A late coffee right at the bell. Sherry Morgan bought me 3 coffees. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday and have a beautiful weekend. You too. You too, Sherry. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. What a way to end this. God, that's great. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the blues. I'm going to relight my cigar. You take a minute or two to say goodbye to each other in the chat. But you won't have to wait long to get more of me, that's for sure, because I'm like a bad penny. I keep coming back. I will be here tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, 8:30, out here in the chill. And we'll do it again. So think up some questions for me. Have a great Saturday. Have a great Saturday. And, my friends, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.